is we need to take note that Jesus displays some anger here that is not typical of him. I've been at youth group before when someone asked me, is it a sin to become angry? And I would say this story pretty forcefully says, well, no. Look how angry Jesus got. But just because it's not a sin to become angry, we recognize anger is not always productive either. I think if you're one of those people that has kind of a short fuse or temper and gets angry really quickly, I look more towards that study we did of the book of James this past summer. And James was sharing with the early church, hey, be slow to become angry. You see that all over Scripture, that's the goal. It's not have that quick fuse or that quick temper, but be slow to become angry. And yet, we still see in this story that Jesus was livid, that Jesus flipped tables over, that Jesus yelled at people. And so we have to ask, what was it about Jesus' anger in particular? Well, the one thing I think we can learn from Jesus' anger is this. Jesus is angry that his people are potentially being led astray in their worship. That's what made Jesus upset. I get upset if my TV remote doesn't work properly. Jesus gets upset if people are being led away from true worship. And there's a difference between those two things, isn't there? And so the purpose of Jesus' anger, what led Jesus to become angry, is the difference that we need to really study. And so what I would encourage all of us to do is look at our own lives and say, well, what drives me to become angry? And is it trivial things? Or is it things that really should make me upset? Are there people being wronged in the world or systems in place that are abusing people? Are those the things that make me angry? Or am I angry just because I didn't get enough sleep the night before or because I'm irritable about something? What is driving my anger? What's the purpose of my anger? That's the first thing we need to ask about anger. And then the second thing I think we should question is it leading you to do something productive? Because with Jesus, it led him to go try to change a whole system to bring people back to true worship. It led him to productivity. Does our anger do that? Or does our anger just lead us to stew within ourselves and to push it all inward and then be consumed with stress or chest pain because of that, because we're just holding it all in? For Jesus, his anger moved him somewhere. And I think he'd share with us that's what he hopes our anger does as well. When we look at the world and we see people not being treated well, when we see things that seem different than Jesus' vision for the world, do those things make us upset? And does it drive us then to act?